Hello everyone, and welcome back to the channel. My name is Denise, and today we're continuing with the unexpected unboxing. This is part 2 because we didn't want the video to be too long. And once again, this was a couple of boxes that I received from a good friend of mine that came to visit, and I had left these boxes with her because I didn't have enough space and room to move them when I moved. So 4 years later, and she brought them to me. Okay, so what we're looking at now, if I'm correct, this was actually a store that was going out of business. A vendor, and of course he heard about me through somebody else that I recycle and I do all those things. So he made a deal with me that if I would accept a package of 500 necklaces, because he had been holding on to them, I think, for at least a decade, and then I am now showing you this another decade later. Because I think this was purchased back in, let's see, this is 2025. So I think that this was purchased back in 2014, if I'm correct. Yeah, and he said that he had them for over a decade plus. So anyway, long story short, a lot of these bags that I'm going through will be from him. And I do a series on taking vintage necklaces and making earrings out of them, so you will actually see these necklaces again. Unfortunately, you're going to hear me rattling a lot of paper because I have to put them back in plastic bags so they don't get tangled and difficult to work with. So you are going to be hearing that noise, and then you'll probably be hearing the noise of also me dropping them into the box that is right below my knees on the floor, because that's going to be the fastest way I can get through this part 2, which is the last part to this series, the unexpected unboxing. So you'll hear me dropping them in the box, okay? But I just want to apologize for that ahead of time, but that's how I'm actually going to get through this. Okay, so anyway, right here you can see, if you watched any of my sorting through 1 million videos, you know that anytime I see something separate, beads separate, I'm thinking, okay, how many pairs of earrings can I get out of it? So here I can see an earring set with the 3 here. Let me move this up just a little. I can see an earring set with the 3 of these. I see a pair of earrings here. I think this is going to be gorgeous. I have some gold tone beads that'll match perfectly with that. And then I love the texture of this item. If you recall, I showed during the bronze colored box a textured metal similar to this that I pulled off of a belt that was simply destroyed. So I may be able to match these up, not sure, but if not, I see 1 pair, 2 pair, 3, 4, 5 pair of earrings, actually 4 pair of earrings and 1 earring set out of this necklace. With this one, the same. I think it has about the same amount of beads on it, and I have customers that love black, anything black. They love that color. So I would actually make, I would use these 2 smaller earrings and pair it with the center one as a set, an earring set, and then I would use these 2 pieces for a pair of earrings, these 2 pieces for a pair of earrings, and then I will really find something kind of funky designs for these, because the hole is going through the side and not the top. So there's a lot I could do with that, and I see 1, 2, 3, 4 pair with just not sure what this is called. It looks like a wrap wire, but it looks like it's been stamped like a wrap wire. So anyway, I would get 4 of those this one set here, so that's 5, 6, 7. So I'm looking at 7, not to mention the chains, guys, because remember I use the chains for a lot of things. For the tassels, I use the chains for the iPhone charms, the backpack charms, as well as on my my earrings. And then they're perfect to just, you know, join this together and make this the chain for this necklace. You know, to put this pendant and just make this the chain for the necklace. You can also put chains on the earrings that will really tie it in nicely to the necklace set. So a lot you can do there. Here I am just elated. I see beads, I see fringe. This is orange. I love this orange color because it's kind of like a orange, burnt orange. It's not a bright orange, which means it can go very, very well with any of my brass pieces. And as you can see, it's brass here. I did a video on the brass box, so it's a lot I can do here with my keychains as well. I like how this is actually linked together. I would definitely be able to do some purse charms out of this, as well as, like I said, the iPhone charms. So I love this color of orange. I love this with some turquoise, with black, with the bronze. I would love this with some pewter. So you're going to be seeing a lot of the dangles here, these resin pieces. You're going to be seeing a lot of that. There's a lot I can do with that. Okay, and let me get the last piece that was in the bag, and that is this piece here. Okay, and with this piece, let me move this out the way or kind of over to the side. I want to kind of keep everything down. I noticed that when I would bring things up to you, it got a lot blurrier than me just keeping things laid down on the table. So I'm going to really try and work with just keeping it down on the table, because for whatever reason, I've been fighting the blur on the screen, and I don't know if I accidentally hit and made a change on the camcorder and not noticed, but I'm working to get rid of that blur on the videos, guys. So just want to let you know I do recognize it, and it seems to have been clear over here, but it seems to get more blurry going towards that way on the videos that I reviewed. So going forward, I'm just looking for a solution. Okay, but this is a necklace. I would definitely take this off the bottom, this pendant, and make it a necklace set. I would more than likely use these two round pieces here for the necklace set. This is resin, so this is for my resin customer. Also too, I see a pair of earrings here, but now one thing that I am noticing, do you see where it's connected on the piece, on the bead? I have 3 connections here, so I have to figure out a way to work through that. Or you cut off this piece, you actually sand it down, and you just leave your hoop, your loop at the top of these 2 pieces, and you would actually be sanding off this, sanding off that, so you only have the loop here. And then you can actually take your metallic paint and paint over the area that you sand down, and then that way it could be earrings drop just like, well, this has 2 as well. So that's just a tip. These 2 pieces here, notice that if I use these at a dangle, they would not be vertical, they will be horizontal. Okay, so you do have to watch where your connections are when you're looking at necklaces like this, because it won't always be at the top like this. So I think these will make a really different look, just because people would expect them to be vertical instead of horizontal. So I really like that. This could be a 3-piece set, because this actually has a dangle on the bottom. So you could really do a really nice tassel here, a nice gold tone tassel, some gold beads up at the top, and then have these 2 earrings kind of mimic the gold beads that you have this at the top. So I'm seeing one set, I'm seeing two set, and I'm seeing a pair of earrings out of this, like I said, not to mention the chain. Okay guys, so that's for the 4 of these necklaces, which I should have I should have just made a necklace video, a vintage necklace video to earrings out of these, but I didn't. So maybe I can cut up this video and do that. So if you see this video again in this part, you're like, oh wait a minute, that's the same video. No, I will actually add the made earrings to this. So going forward, that's what I'll do, is pull out 4 necklaces so you can see, and put those in the repurpose video. So once again, yeah, that's a smart idea. That'll keep me from doing double work. Okay guys, so we're starting here, hopefully with another 4 necklaces. Like I said, these necklaces are actually from a vendor that was trying to get rid of them, that had them for decade plus, back in 2011, 2012. I think I got them from them in 2014. So this is being returned to me because I left it with someone, and this was the unexpected unboxing. So we're going to do 4 necklaces at a time so I can do my videos on repurposing vintage necklaces. Okay, so let's get these 4 in here. Okay, so I don't know, we may have an unboxing 3 now that I think about it, if I'm going to do it this way. Okay guys, so you can see the 4 necklaces here. Let me come up a little. Okay, the 4 necklaces here, and once again, if you look at the necklaces, this is all resin. I think everything I got from him is resin. So these aren't any necklaces that like I got from Goodwill or something like that, or from, you know, my grandmother or anything like that. These are all resin pieces. And once again, if you see how they're connected, it can really make a really nice different earring because of the way that you would connect the earring to the ear wire and connect it to other beads. So it's not just vertical, it's not just up and down, it is actually from different angles. And I'm sure that was to get the design that the necklace has, but you can actually play off of that and make some gorgeous earrings. So we're going to play around a lot with this. Unfortunately, I don't see in these matching pieces, these look like all different shapes except for the black here and maybe the beige in here and the red and the green. So the small ones I probably can group together as earrings. The large ones, I'll have to make pendants out of those, or tassels, keychains, and those types of things out of that, or a pendant on a chain. Okay. The next one is just the faceted long oval beads. I think they're about maybe 1 3/8 inches. Not quite 1.5 inches, but not as small as 1.25 inches. So to me, I'm just seeing tons of pairs of earrings that I can actually make with the resin pieces here, and they already have the hoops on the top and the bottom. So this is like, if you really want to get your inventory up to speed, if you just take like an hour and say, okay, I'm gonna just take all these loose and put some dangles next to them. For me, I'd be putting cowrie shells next to them. This is a way to knock out a dozen pair of earrings within an hour. And then of course I love the large chain, so I would use a couple of the earrings to be a dangle on this particular chain, because the metal pieces actually match on that. I could do it with a couple of dangles by using this particular circular large jump ring, how the 3 dangles hang out, and I could actually put a brass bead on the bottom of each one of these dangles. So that to me is just easy and perfect. So I'd love when that happens. Okay, we have this one. This one is just a little bit dressier, and this is faux pearl, faux emerald, which means it's a resin, and this is a resin. So I'm looking to see how they are connected through the sides. Can you see the hole is not like at the top or at the bottom? It's actually through the side of the earring. Whenever I have that, I will use normally a chain to hang it right side up. But I'm looking at this, and what I may do, like I've shown you on my past videos, I may put 2 stems through it and then figure out a way to connect it with it being a horizontal stone versus it being a vertical. So it looks to me like I have 1, 2, 3 pairs of earrings. I may do 1 vertical and then 2 horizontal, and then I may do the same with the faux pearl, because it looks like I have an odd number here. So this would be a pair of earrings with a little dainty chain for the necklace, and then this would be a pair of earrings, more than likely with gold dangles hanging from it. So that is that's, let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 4 pair of earrings and 1 set. Okay, last but not least, this looks like this is a duplicate. I remember working with these beads, and also with the with this leaf, with this brass leaf, and I remember, yeah, because I wanted to use the blue faux leather piece through here on the chain and just have a dangle from it, but the links were so hard to get loose. I mean, they were thick and tough, so I did not get a chance to do that with this. So maybe I'll figure out something else with this. I did use a couple of the they're like a faux pearl little they're like a faux shell here, because once it chipped, I saw that it's like the top, now maybe a real pearl, and it just chipped. So, you know, I may stand to be corrected. Maybe it is a real pearl. I don't think they would waste the time to make both sides look like that, but I thought that it chipped and it was a faux pearl. But anytime, guys, when you're confused of whether it's faux or whether it's actually authentic and real, I will just state faux. Even if it's real, I'll state faux if I can't figure it out, because I'd rather you know, be on the side of, okay, it's faux versus it's authentic, or it's an actual stone, versus someone purchasing something and finding out that I said it's a stone and it was actually faux. So just err on that side of of the faux side versus the stone side, and that way you'll keep happy customers, because even if they get it and they're like, oh, this is real, you know, I've had people have that happen in the past, and people say, you know, this is actually a real stone. I was like, oh, really? They're like, yeah. Do I owe you something for it? I was like, no, but you know, it's a learning experience. Thank you for letting me know. Going forward, you know, I will now know that, you know, it's an authentic stone. So just always be honest, guys. And then if you just want to say you don't know, just say you don't know, and then see if you can reach an agreement with your customer as far as payment is concerned. Okay, so these are 4. I'm going to group these 4 together, and when I continue my series on repurposing vintage necklaces into earrings, then this will actually be the 4 necklaces that I will actually do together. So I'm going to put this in a plastic bag, and I am going to drop it below, and I am going to pull out. I'm going to see if I can get my hands on all of the necklaces, so I'm not double working myself with the series. So this looks like this is 4. Okay. Yeah, I'm thinking maybe a part 3 to this video. I was thinking I could knock it out in part 2, but guys, you know, hey, it's a blessing to get inventory, even if you have more than you. I was always taught when I was young that I worked in a retail store called J.L. Hudson's, and you know, we used to complain about how much inventory we have to move around. And I remember the general manager was saying, yeah, it's a lot, but hey, inventory is money. This is how you get paid. So never complain when you have too much inventory. There are people who wish they had inventory. Look at it as money, as dollar bills. So don't complain. So even though I have more than I thought I had, you know, the goal here is to get through everything, and like the general manager said, turn it into dollar bills. So that's what we're working with here, and I'm sure a lot of you have more than enough inventory, and especially those of you who are crafters. We have everything. I'm a fabaholic as well, so I have more fabric than I have jewelry, if you can imagine that. And that's a whole nother story and a whole nother video. Okay, so it looks like, and I kept these together. Let me just open one. It looks like I have 5 of these, and please excuse the noise. Okay, so this is like a stretchy. Move these to the side. Put them in the plastic bag because we have to stay organized here. Otherwise, I'll just start screaming. It's like, oh, I can't look for another thing. I'll go mad. Okay. So it looks like this is like stretchy. And I like this kind of box. I want to call it a box chain. See if you can see that. I do better down here, like I said. I'm getting too close up because this makes it too blurry. I don't know if you can see this box or whatever it is. I have a lot of it. It is like a chain, but it feels like it's a resin chain. I don't know. Yeah, it's somewhere in between resin and metal. So what I would do is just take my pliers and cut the chain. And I would put an end piece on the top, and I would put an end piece on the bottom, and then that way I could hang a little dangle from it, and then at the top I could put an ear wire inside of the bell or the end piece with the loop. So that's what I would do with this. And maybe too, I would actually cut this chain from here, and then just make it into a swirl. I don't see without me cutting it here, and I just took my pliers out of here so I could have more space. But if you can imagine, I would just start to make a round, like what do you call this? Whatever this is called. Kind of reminds me of like you know, a donut, those cinnamon donuts that you twist, but there wouldn't be a white space in the middle, like a swirl. I would just do a swirl. Let me move it over so you can see it. I would just do a swirl like that, and I would set it in resin, in the UV resin, and then I would pull it out after it dries. I have some of the molds for circles and squares. So I would just keep going around and around and around, and you'll see after I complete this this 4-piece set. And then I would set it in resin, and then I would actually make it put an ear wire on the top of it and make an earring design out of it. And I think too I would do this with like the gold dust little flakes. I think I could put that in it. Or if I wanted to do something kind of opposite, I could put some of the silver flakes in it and make it a gold silver earring, resin earring. So I'll show you at the end of this video, and this will not be the unexpected unboxing video because this video is going to be so long, so I'm not adding any earrings to this, but this will be for the repurposing vintage necklaces into earrings video. So I don't know what number this will be. We're on number 9 now. We'll probably go up to number 30, 40, maybe 50 because I just keep finding necklaces. But anyway, yeah, this will be in that video. Okay, and here, this is just one piece, guys. So, and you know, for it like it is as a necklace, or maybe making a brooch and turn it sideways, I think that would be pretty. But there's nothing to take a loose here. It looks like all of the stones are in here. So I think a nice brooch, this will make a nice brooch. If I just took this a loose and then put a long pin in that can pin here or pin there, I think this will really make a nice brooch. I think it's too wide. I may be incorrect, but I think it's too wide for a purse tassel. But you know, I don't know. I may be wrong. If you could get enough strands to come up, because this is open here, and there's a place here for strands. So if you could get enough beaded rhinestone strands to come up, maybe it would end up looking nice as a purse tassel with another strand coming up here, a strand coming there, and a strand coming there. So either that, a purse tassel, or a nice brooch, I think would be gorgeous. And two, this could be used as a hat pin. I know a lot of ladies at my church would wear this for a special event as a hat pin on one of their hats because it would really stand out. Okay, let's see here. I see an earring necklace set here, and I see an earring necklace set here. I don't know if you guys can see it, but this pink matches this pink. And look, you even have a rhinestone there. Yeah, you even have a rhinestone there, so that would make a nice dangle. And then you have as well a rhinestone here. So I could either put on the pink, I think I would take this a loose and put a single dangle, a single silver tone dangle on the bottom of it, and then have some of the same beads that I would have dangle from here at the top of just this pink color here, this oval shape, and then make this a pair of earrings. I would make this just a pair of single 1/2 inch rhinestone earrings for my single dangle customers. And then this set here, from here to here, I would have the dangle there with the silver on the bottom, and it would actually match this part of the necklace here. I don't know. Yeah, okay, I can't do that. But anyway, just this outside part of the necklace there, and then have a dangle to come down that would match this here. So maybe instead of using earrings for this, I would use one of these dangles to go down the center. But you know, I don't know. I have a whole bag full of the rhinestones, so I'm not sure if I would sacrifice this pair as earrings. I think I can match this a little bit larger and then have it dangle down so it actually matches the earrings. So yep, looking like 2 sets out of this. 2 sets and 1 pair of earrings out of this necklace. And don't forget, you have a long chain here that you can actually work with to make another necklace, a bracelet, you know, putting charms across the bracelet. There's so much you can get out of just one necklace. Okay, so we're coming to the last one. And once again here, guys, the necklaces here, which I think these are called statement pieces, because of how much they have on the actual necklace. It's just not one pendant hanging down, but it's kind of a abstract design. So once again, I would look at any of the pieces and see if they match. If so, it looks like these two may just match. You can get an earring, pair of earrings out of that. I think these three are different. So you could do a pair of earrings and then maybe do a pendant necklace out of that. I do see a couple of the smaller pieces, maybe 1, 2, 3, 4 pair of earrings out of that. But what I always do with the statement pieces like this, where you have the abstract necklace, I always turn it over to see what's going on this side and how it's connected together. And once I do that, I can kind of tell what I can do with it, because sometimes the pieces are actually soldered to the side. Your jump ring or your loop is soldered to the side of the bead or of the stone. But these appear to be, as you can see, these are all loose jump rings. And so that gives me the flexibility to put the jump ring wherever I want it, because it's not soldered on. It's actually just hooped into the frame of the bead. So that's a plus. So that's going to give me the flexibility to match these up a lot better versus it being soldered to the side. So always do that. Turn your jewelry over and see what you have to work with before you start designing your design. So this necklace will give me a lot more flexibility than the other necklace. And I think I've already bagged that necklace up and put it up, but I was going to show you the difference between that particular necklace and this one. So maybe what I'll do is just keep, okay, this necklace doesn't want to turn around, so I was just going to put all the 4 necklaces here so I can remind you of what we're working with. This one had the one shape by itself. So yeah, I think I'm going to keep this necklace out and then see if I have another necklace that will that has the soldered together. Well, wait a second. Maybe I can just reach in this box, if you don't mind, and I can show you. Let's see here. That's not it. Give me 1 second here, guys. Let me reach in here. Well, you know what? This necklace is the same. So I have more freedom on this necklace than what I thought. It's not soldered together. For whatever reason, I thought it was. I thought I had one necklace that was soldered together, but this is not it. So let's see if this one was soldered together. Okay. Okay, so now let me show you. Denise, you're making these videos way too long, but I want to show you what I mean. Show you the difference. Okay, let's turn this over. Okay, so this actually has the jump rings through them. So when I take the jump rings all off, there's nothing attached holding this together. Okay, these are soldered together in certain places. As you can see right here, this is soldered on, this is soldered on, so it's not just a jump ring I can take off. Now there is a jump ring that's attaching it to this piece. Okay, but even when I take this jump ring off, if you look at this, it will still have 2 loops on each side, and so that's why this is going to determine which loop I can use, and if I have to solder a loop off, or if I have to extend a chain from these 2 loops up to actually hold the earring. Here you can see this is soldered in 3 places, so therefore it's not a jump ring. here's your jump ring that's attaching your other bead. But even when I take this jump ring off and this bead, I will still have 3 loops on this particular bead. So I'll have to make up my mind of where I want my ear wire to go, and then what sides I will solder off that will make my shape of the earring. So that's the difference on this one versus this one. I'm limited on this. I have no limits on this one. Okay, so just want to explain that to you guys real quick. Okay, all right, let me see if I can get 4 more on here, and then we'll probably end the video here, so it won't be too long, and then I will be doing a part 3 on the unexpected unboxing. See, we have 2, 1, 2. See, I'm looking for more. I see a bag of earrings. What's in this bag? See another bag of earrings. Okay, I see. Hey guys, still looking here. And let me see if I find some. Looks like I have a bag of bracelets, but whenever I have beaded bracelets, I look at it just like I look at a necklace, which means there's beads to pull apart. Okay, and I do have one, and I could not tell you for the life of me where this bracelet came from. But let me see if I can find my 4th piece. Looks like one more beaded bracelet. Okay, I think we're in business now. Okay, so I have 4 pieces, and we're going to end the video after we go through these 4 pieces. Okay, and I had a sign, guys. I had a sign on my bag in this box, and it said, "Who told you it couldn't be done? All things are possible if you would just believe." And this was on the top of my box. So put a smile on my face, because I was like, what is this stuff coming in here? I'm trying to finish it up. But you know, guys, this is for someone. Who told you it couldn't be done? All things are possible if you just believe. So keep that in mind. Okay, see what we have here. All right, we'll start here. And oh, what a gift, what a gift, what a gift, what a gift. This bracelet, guys, can you see all of the matches and mates I have on this? Whatever doesn't match up to make a set pair of earrings, I will use either on my purse charms or tassels, or I will use it on the keychains. And look at these beautiful, nice size, perfect size, like a pewter color bauble beads. It has an opening through it, so I can get those vertical. I could use this on a lot of different jewelry. I mean, my mind is just going bonkers right now because there's so much I can do. So I do see a pair of earrings here. I love this filigree look. I'm not sure. I don't see a match. This looks a little different to me, but maybe it is the match to it. Let's see. Yeah, I guess it is the match to it. It just looks different from the angle. So that I have the one pair here, then I have another pair here. Let's see if there's anything under here. I think a couple of these are mates. I think I'll have to turn it over and see. But whatever isn't a mate, I can use that as a dangle. This looks like. Okay, no, I thought that maybe this one and this one went together, but it doesn't. But so far, I see 1, 2, possibly 3 pair if this matches this. But it's beautiful that, yeah, it looks like that's going to match that. This is beautiful that I have these dangles in this color. I love this color. It's like, it's not quite silver tone, but it's not as dark as a dark pewter or hematite, but it's somewhere in between. So I can see doing a lot with this. I'm just turning it over just to see what it looks like turned over. I can do a lot with the leaves. Yeah. And this is fall, autumn too. And I just like the quality of this particular bracelet. Not sure where it came from and when, where I got it from, but yeah, just love that. Gorgeous piece. I'm definitely going to be able to do a lot of designs out of this. Okay, and I'll bring a smaller bracelet over. Not sure where this came from. I'm looking to see if I have any like beads on here. And sometimes, guys, remember, if you just have like one bead, you can make a bracelet out of all those single one-off beads. And it looks like that's what happened here. So I don't see any matching beads, even down to the smallest beads. It just looks like someone took a strand of elastic and just went through all the one-off beads that they had. So this is perfect for your iPhone charms, or your cell phone charms, I should say, because some people have Android. So for your Android iPhone charms, also for your backpack charms and for your purse charms, this is perfect. I can see where I could just leave some of the beads in place and just put a stem through it, and that would be one of my dangles of several dangles that I would actually have on my charms. And then some of the charms that you can make short like this can actually be a zipper charm or a belt loop charm. Those are a lot shorter. So there's just so much you can do with just those extra beads that aren't, you know, that you can't make earrings out of. There's always something you can make out of it. Okay, and also too, guys, you can make a nice hat pin. I just thought about that. Just make a nice hat pin, stick a long piece of wire through this, and just make a hat pin out of this. That would be gorgeous. And I think on my brass color box that we were going through, I had a couple of the long, extra long hat pins that I could use. But you can just use a piece of wire and make a hat pin. So remember, for all the moms, for Christmas, when they've had everything that you could possibly purchase as far as home goods are concerned, in the stores, you just can't get them another blender or another this or another that, because they have it all, or bread baker and stuff. You know, think about the jewelry that doesn't deal with size. So if they like hat pins, you can get them hat pins. If they like tassels on their purses, you can get them tassels on their purses in their favorite color. So there's a lot you can do with the jewelry besides just earrings and necklaces. Okay, this is another piece that's welded together. So it would have to remain as either a necklace, or like I said, you can make a pendant out of this by just applying your pin on the back side. You could put it in the middle, put some E6000 on there, and then lay your pin bar across here that would attach to whatever you want to wear it on. So this would be a nice pendant. I would have to solder the bottom and the top where it has that loop, or connect a chain around it so it could be a pendant as well as hang as a chain around it as well. So you can do that. Like I said, there's just so many things you could do with that. A pendant with the chain, or just the pendant by itself. Okay, guys, and for the last necklace, and once again, this is all resin. This is like a really thin metal. I want to say maybe aluminum. but it's a real thin metal, or it's a resin metal, but it's just a nice quality. Okay, more resin, and once again, whenever I have a statement piece like this, I'm going to turn it on its back side to see the flexibility of what I'm able to do with it, if everything is soldered, or if I have jump rings throughout the entire piece. And it looks like on this, they are soldered, but they're soldered on the back side of the frame, with the exception of this one. So because this looks like one piece soldered together, like this is soldered to this, is soldered to this, if you can see, it's soldered to that. So these 4 pieces are together. So when I'm looking at it from the front side, I'm thinking, oh, okay, I can use this piece and I can use this piece as a pair of earrings, but I can't, because this entire one piece is soldered together. And these pieces are jump ring together. And these pieces are jumped ring together. So just this piece and this piece is the only piece I can see that I could use for a pair of earrings. And I'm not really sure if I can do that, because this one has 2 on this side and 1 at the very end, where I would have to cut that off. And this piece doesn't have anything on the end but the 2 pieces there. So sometimes, guys, you just have to figure out if stuff is worth your time. And for me, moving through 1 million beads, I have to make it go as fast as possible. So some things I'll just drop in a box and say, okay, we'll deal with that later. Right now, we're not going to waste time on it. Now, if I was looking at it from the front, I would have thought that this piece here and this piece could make me a pair of earrings. But when I turn it on back, I see that this piece is soldered to this large piece, so I can't use it. And I would think that this piece and this piece could make me a pair of earrings if I was looking on the front of it. But once again, this piece is soldered to this piece. So when I turn it back over, these 4 pieces go together. They're one whole piece. Okay, these are separate pieces. So this entire necklace will more than likely become pieces for the purse tassels. This could be a brooch. This could be a brooch as well. This piece I would pick off and then recenter it, because it's off center. And these pieces will more than likely be either on keychains or on backpack phone charms, or backpack charms or phone charms. So that's what would actually go on with this piece. So I'm limited on this. There's only so much I'm going to do on a resin piece. I'm just going to be honest with you. If it's precious stone, it's a different story. I'll really take my time on that and get some things done. But when it's resin, there's only so much work I'm going to put onto a resin piece, because it is resin. Okay, guys, so I'm looking, and okay, that is going to be the 4 pieces that I'll be working with. And once again, this is going to be on the video that has repurposed vintage necklaces into earrings. Even though we are now on part 2 of the unexpected unboxing. Okay, guys, so for those of you who will catch me on this video, I'll be back with the earrings for the repurposing of the vintage necklaces and bracelets. And for those of you who are watching the unexpected unboxing video, this is part 2, and I will be back with part 3. All right, guys, I will talk with you soon.